So what's the Grape Explorer talking about today? So if you know me, I'm all about discovery. And you know what that means? I love discovering new things, and I love discovering things that just are really off the radar. And this is a grape and a region that I want to talk about today. So the region is Switzerland, and actually the part of Switzerland is on this map right here. So if you see our big map, you get France here, and just above here is Neuchatel, which is right here. And this is where this wine hails from. And the grape is called Chasselas. And I have never done a YouTube or a video on Chasselas. So this was a pleasure when I tasted this the other day. And of course, you know, we have to thank Thor Thorvaldsson, who when we tasted his wines, I had told him that, you know, I would love to review his wines, and he was very kind to let us be able to have this bottle here today. But one thing that I really wanted to talk about was Chasselas, because this is a very fascinating grape. Because 30 years ago, I had somebody who blind tasted me on a wine, and wanted me to identify the grape, and wanted me to, and which is the most difficult thing in the world to do, especially if you don't have this broad knowledge. Yes, there's a lot of people out there like top level somms who taste, you know, hundreds and hundreds of wines every day. But this was a very interesting wine, the Chasselas, because when I blind tasted a wine one day, I thought it tasted a lot like a Macon, and the importer said, well, you know, that's not a bad guess, because he said, you know, I had Robert Parker here one day and he tasted the same wine and he thought it was a Macon too. So I thought, oh, okay, so because he tasted thousands of wines, but at that time it was a Fendant. And I actually asked I said, so what's the difference between Fendant and Chasselas? And he said, basically it's the same thing. It's just the same name for the grape. So we thought that was really cool. But yeah, I wanted to dive into this wine right away. So enough of talking about it. Let's talk about the smell, because you get a lot of that lemon custard, lemon rind right off the bat, and you get the chalkiness of the soils. Remember, we talked about the soils being very, very important when you're tasting wines, because again, you get the primary fruit, which is the lemon. You get that really, you know, citrusy kind of lemon that just leaps in the glass. But then there's something else there. And a lot of people would say, what is that I'm smelling? Well, it's chalk, which is very fascinating. And I want to bring up everybody's childhood, you know, especially if you're my age. We're not talking about the children today because they don't have to worry about such things, hopefully. But if everybody remembers the chalkboards when we were in school, and, you know, sometimes, you know, we had to always clean the chalk, the erasers and everything like that, and you smelled this chalk. It was just beautiful, interesting kind of a smell. And these are all things that are in my memory banks. So when you get that also leaps out of the glass, that chalky kind of quality of the fruit. So imagine just lemon and chalk just fused together to create this beautiful, look at the color though. This is Chasselas. And, you know, as you're zooming in here, I just want you to see how golden color this is. So, but it's not Chardonnay. So, and it's, but it's probably akin more to Chardonnay. Let's taste it. Oh, that's creamy. That's lush. Beautiful acidity. It's got that pinpoint acidity. And yes, we did break out some Emmenthal cheese. And I think the most important thing when you're tasting wine like this, and it's got that acidity, you need food. And the cheese will cut right through it. That is absolutely beautiful. So one more time, I want to zoom in on this because I also want to talk a little bit about Chasselas. And so it's in Switzerland, also exists in France and Germany and Portugal and Hungary and Romania and New Zealand, Croatia and Chile. It's mostly vinified to be dry and a dry wine, but the history is fascinating. It goes back to the 16th century. So this is actually a grape that's been around for a long, long time. And unfortunately, we do not see this grown much in California. So hence, Americans never saw Chasselas. So this is what we call more of an Eastern European grape varietal, but it does exist obviously in France. So it's a beautiful wine, something to look out for. And this is a Grape Explorer. If you like our content, please hit the subscribe button, because we're just constantly finding new wines to educate people. And we just brought one here today. It's a beautiful wine, a Chasselas from Switzerland. Cheers.